Hi, I'm Dr. Swatzyna. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I'm director of neurotherapy for the Tarnow Center here in Houston, Texas. The mothers that I see bring their children to me because they haven't found traditional approaches such as psychotherapy and behavioral therapy to be adequate to help their child develop. The types of clients I would say I help the most are the ones that are totally atypical. They just don't respond to normal intervention. That's the ones I do want to help the most. By looking at the raw readings coming from a person's brain, the electrical activity, you can see differences that normally would not be able to be picked up on. And to see their faces when I finally can link what I see here to what's going on in their lives, it makes all the difference in the world, and they don't feel as guilty or as looked down upon any longer. I work with a great team of psychiatrists, psychologists, and other clinicians. Nobody has all the information, but as a team, you have a better chance of figuring out these difficult cases. The EEG provides us with the information that we can locate and identify the source problem in the brain. What do we do with that? Well, that's where neurotherapy comes in. Neurotherapy is a process by which we can put electrodes to the surface of the head, and then through a feedback system of video and audio, feed this back to the individual so that they can actually retrain their brain themselves. And after doing this a period of time, usually 5 sessions, the brain alters itself to a more functional state and the issues start lifting. A child can bring in their own DVD, and when they're making their brains more functional, the volume comes up and the picture stays bright. And when they're not, it goes the other direction. Well, these children want to keep the picture going, and so therefore they're motivated to do the work, and it works very quickly. Often I see children brought into my practice that have been diagnosed prior with ADHD. But they don't respond normally to medication. The intervention doesn't work. What we find in these cases most often is a history of head injury, concussions from prior to. It could take 2 to 3 years to fully develop in a young child, but the ADHD symptoms that follow are identical to ADHD. It's hard to diagnose this type of issue differently if you don't have the EEG and our data to substantiate it. The other day, this little boy that was almost nonverbal when I met him at 6 years old came and said, "Dr. Swatzyna, hello." It was amazing to hear it come out of his mouth at that age because he's been nonverbal. Nobody could ever understand this child. Seeing these young brains open up and unlock and become more approachable, more attached, is the greatest thing in the world.